Hi. Welcome to the show. My name is Hereticus Maximus. Much of my humor involves discussing the skeletons in God's closet and being a smartass. Generally, the smartest part of me is my ass. I wonder what this makes me. Much of the Bible amazes me. It contains excellent wisdom, but also contains some totally crazy crap. One wacky law of Moses is, do not plow with an ox and a donkey yoked together. While this law is likely good agricultural advice, should we really trust those who think God has an opinion on this topic? Another random law of Moses is do not wear clothes of wool and linen woven together. God taking the time to care about this type of thing is absurd. On an absurd and twisted note, the perfect law states that no one who has been emasculated by crushing or cutting may enter the assembly of the Lord. A funny implication is that we can use this as an excuse to not go to church if we have had vasectomies. Surgical sterilization equals no more liturgical obligation. Let us continue to explore more of God's genital obsession and other odd demands. In the book of Leviticus, the Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, for the generations to come none of your descendants who have a defect may come near to offer the food of his God. No man who has any defect may come near. No man who is blind or lame, disfigured or deformed. No man with a crippled foot or hand, or who is hunchbacked or dwarfed, or who has any eye defect, or who has festering or running sores or damaged testicles. No descendant of Aaron the priest who has any defect is to come near to present the offerings made to the Lord by fire. If he has a defect, he must not come near to offer the food of his God." Does God still find the handicapped inadequate? If this scripture is literally inerrant and perfect from God, then we must be compelled to conclude that God is a genitally obsessed creep. If Jesus is the Son of God and LF all the crazy shit in the Bible is true, God made significant strides in anger management in the time between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Another favorite wacky law of Moses from Exodus is, do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. Considering that the young goat dies anyway, why would God care if we cook a young goat in another goat's milk instead of the milk of its mother? Do you think the mother goat or the young goat would be grateful for this show of compassion? And what great wisdom can we learn from cooking instructions for goats? Anyway, here is another wacky law from Deuteronomy. If two men are fighting and the wife of one of them comes to rescue her husband from his assailant, and she reaches out and seizes him by his private parts, you shall cut off her hand. Show her no pity. This law is classic. Traumatizing the testicles is one of the most effective ways of hurting male flesh. God then creates a law that says women can't take advantage. This sounds far too masculine a law to me to have come from the God who made testicles. Testicles have an amazing number of supersensitive nerve receptors. I think God may have put our testicles where they can be grabbed or hit to give women an advantage, to make up for the greater size and strength of a lot of men compared to a lot of women. Also, potentially, with God's sense of humor, she might have put testicles where they could be easily hit or grabbed, because it makes trauma to the groin so much funnier. It is hard to tell with God. There are many mysteries. These themes and others related and unrelated will be explored in greater detail as this reality progresses. Thank you for your time. I look forward to any feedback. May we all see the direction our quest must go. That is all for this part 2 of this 2-episode series of the Hereticus Maximus Show. Thank you for tuning in. The light of reality being infinitely beyond our perception, spirit is a perception beyond conception.